R. Kelly just lit a fire that's about to burn through the whole industry, and Jay-Z is right in the middle of it. From inside a prison cell, Kelly is pointing fingers straight at Roc Nation, saying they tried to take him out permanently. Not just cancel him, end him. He's not holding back anymore. He says Jay-Z and his powerful team wanted him gone because he was ready to tell the truth. Truth that could ruin careers, shake the music world, and maybe even expose people tied to government power. And here's where it gets wild. Just days before he collapsed in prison, Kelly says he got death threats. Threats that made it clear if he didn't stay quiet, he wouldn't make it out alive. He even told people close to him that Jay-Z was behind it, that Jay-Z was pulling strings from the top, that Roc Nation didn't just want silence, they wanted him erased before he could speak out. Think it's far-fetched? Then explain this. Kelly suddenly overdosed behind bars. Not once, not a mix-up, but right after being tossed into solitary confinement. Prison staff gave him medication he never needed at doses he'd never taken before. He passed out, and now his lawyers are calling it what it really is, a setup, a hit. But Kelly didn't die. He survived, and now he's talking. He's saying what no one in the industry has dared to say, that Jay-Z isn't just a businessman. He's not just an artist. He's someone with power, reach, and connections that can shut people down, or worse. Kelly says they tried to silence him because he knew too much, and he's finally ready to let the world hear it. What happened next wasn't just a scare, it was a full-blown attempt on R. Kelly's life. According to his legal team, Kelly didn't just feel sick in prison, he was drugged. On June 13th, he woke up dizzy, seeing black spots. The room was spinning. He tried to get up, but his legs gave out. He collapsed, crawled to the door of his cell for help, and then, gone. Out cold. The prison staff called an ambulance, but not before wasting precious time. They first tried to take him to a hospital inside the prison system, but they weren't equipped to help. It got so bad, they had to rush him to an outside hospital. His condition? Critical. His body had been pumped full of medication he never should have had. And here's the catch. Those pills were forced on him. Prison officials claimed they were for sleep and anxiety, but Kelly's team says he never had issues needing those meds. They believe someone inside the system pushed those pills on purpose. The goal? Overdose. Take him out before he could talk. But Kelly didn't just survive. He remembered everything. And when doctors finally examined him, they found more than just signs of an overdose. They found blood clots in both legs, in his lungs, and the worst part, Kelly had been begging for help with his swollen leg for months. Nobody listened, until it was almost too late. Then came the final insult. After being stabilized, doctors told the prison staff not to move him, but they did it anyway. They yanked him from Duke University Hospital against medical advice and dragged him back behind bars. Kelly's lawyers aren't sugarcoating it. They call this a planned takedown, a targeted hit. Someone wanted him dead and almost got away with it. If you thought R. Kelly was just making wild claims, think again. There's a sworn statement, signed, sealed, and ready for court. An inmate named Michael Glenn Stein dropped the bomb. He says someone offered him a deal, early release from prison, in exchange for taking out R. Kelly. Not beating him up, not threatening him, ending him permanently. This wasn't jailhouse gossip. This was official. Stein signed a full declaration. He's even agreed to take a polygraph and testify in court. He gave names. He gave dates. And he says the pressure came from high up. People with money, people with power, and people who had everything to lose if Kelly spoke out. According to Stein, the reason for the hit was simple. Kelly was about to expose secrets, not just industry rumors, real dirt, the kind that could shake up the Bureau of Prisons, the Department of Justice, and yes, the music industry too. And the name that keeps coming up? Jay-Z, Roc Nation, the very people Kelly was once close to, the same people he now says turned against him in the worst way possible. Stein didn't just accuse a guard or some random inmate, he pointed to a full system, an organized effort to erase Kelly. And this isn't the first time someone's tried. Stein says this happens all the time. Kelly has been targeted over and over just for knowing too much. It's not just one man's word, It's a legal document, and it adds fuel to the fire. Everything Kelly's been saying, now it's backed by someone with nothing to gain except freedom if he did the unthinkable. But he didn't. He came forward, and now Kelly's lawyers are using this as hard proof. Someone powerful tried to kill their client. And that power? All signs point back to Roc Nation. The moment people started talking, Jay-Z's team moved fast to shut them up. Ronnie Bo, R. Kelly's former cellmate, says he was ready to speak out. He had stories, conversations, secrets Kelly shared with him while locked up. Ronnie tried to go public, tried to tell the world what really happened between Kelly and Jay-Z, but the moment he booked a sit-down with the Breakfast Club, everything changed. Suddenly, iHeartRadio shut it down. Just like that. No explanation, no chance to speak. Ronnie believes Jay-Z pulled the strings to cancel it. He says Jay has that kind of pull. Quiet power, backroom deals. One phone call, and the whole interview disappeared. Ronnie's not just throwing shade. He says Jay-Z blocked him because he knew Ronnie had proof. Texts, details, and a first-hand look at how deep the betrayal went. Ronnie claims Kelly told him, straight up, that Jay-Z was trying to sacrifice him. Not figuratively, literally. He says the tension between Kelly and Jay-Z started way back during their Best of Both Worlds tour. On stage, they looked like friends. Off stage, total chaos. Ronnie says Kelly felt Jay-Z was jealous, insecure, angry that Kelly was bigger at the time, and that anger turned into something darker. During their tour stop at Madison Square Garden, Kelly allegedly started getting threats, messages that made it clear something was coming, and he believed Jay-Z was behind it. Ronnie tried to tell this story. He tried to expose what happened, but every time he got close, doors slammed shut. And the closer he got to national attention, the more pressure he felt. Jay-Z, he says, doesn't just silence people, he buries them. Ronnie never got his full interview, but his warning still rings loud. Jay-Z doesn't want the truth out, and he'll do whatever it takes to stop it. If you think Roc Nation is just a music label, think again. Behind the red carpet and record deals lies something way darker, and it starts at the top. Meet Desiree Perez. She's not just Roc Nation's president, she's a former federal informant with a serious criminal past. According to court records, she got caught with 35 kilos of cocaine. That's not small-time crime. That's drug cartel level. She was charged with conspiracy to distribute and link to a multi-state trafficking operation from New York to Florida and Puerto Rico. But somehow, she walked free. Why? Because she flipped. The New York Daily News reported that Perez cut a deal with the feds and helped them bring down major targets. She avoided prison and landed 5 years probation. Just like that. Now ask yourself this. How does someone with that kind of past end up running one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world? Because Jay-Z put her there. Desiree didn't sneak in the back door. Jay-Z hired her, gave her full control, made her the face of Roc Nation. And people started asking questions. Dame Dash, who co-founded Rockefeller with Jay, even said he was shook when he found out. He warned that Jay was surrounding himself with people who know how to move in silence and that it scared him. But it doesn't stop there. Desiree's husband, Juan Perez, also has deep cartel ties. He and Jay-Z go way back. Before the music, before the business deals, they co-founded the 40/40 Club. Years later, Jay made Juan the president of Roc Nation Sports. This isn't just a team, it's a power circle, built on secrets, fueled by silence, and now it's all coming to light. it.Art. Kelly's team is shining a flashlight right at them. And what they're exposing, it's not just shady, it's terrifying. Now that the truth is spilling out, the silence in Hollywood is getting loud. And that silence, it means one thing. People are backing away from Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and everyone tied to this scandal. Major brands that once lined up for collaborations are ghosting Roc Nation. Partnerships that were set to launch have suddenly gone quiet. Advertising deals are being postponed, with no new dates in sight. These companies don't want blood on their hands, or their image. They've seen this story before, and this time, they're stepping back before it drags them down. It's not just the business side. Hollywood insiders are now refusing to attach themselves to any project connected to Roc Nation execs. Producers are bailing, casting directors are pulling names, even music festivals are quietly rewriting lineups to remove the stink. Jay-Z's influence used to open every door. Now, people are checking who's standing beside him before they get burned. And as for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, their silence says it all. They've been tight with Jay-Z. And Beyoncé for years, always standing front row at events, cozying up for cameras. But now, with Roc Nation's dark connections being exposed, their image is starting to crack. Endorsement deals are drying up. Brands don't want to be tied to people who protected predators or played both sides of the fence. The industry is changing its tone. Whispers are turning into warnings. People who once praised Roc Nation are going radio silent. Some are even leaking documents, trying to save themselves before the wave hits them too. Roc Nation built its empire on control, but now the control is slipping, and nobody wants to be the last one standing when it all comes crashing down. The tide is turning, and fast. R.Kelly isn't staying quiet anymore, and now he's fighting back with real proof. For months, they painted him as the villain. They told the world he was finished, but now, the story is flipping. Kelly's legal team has been collecting receipts, and they're finally laying it all out. Documents, medical records, sworn statements, cold, hard facts. It starts with the prison overdose. Kelly's team has filed evidence showing that he requested medical help for months before the day he collapsed. He told guards about swelling in his legs. He complained about shortness of breath. He asked again and again to be seen by doctors. Every time, they ignored him. Then suddenly, he's forced into solitary, given medication he never needed, and almost dies. The timeline is too perfect to ignore. His team says this wasn't an accident, this was calculated, and now we've got the sworn declaration from Michael Stein, the inmate who says he was offered early release if he took Kelly out. Stein gave names, he gave specific dates. He agreed to take a lie detector test. That's not a rumor, that's a full legal bombshell. It doesn't stop there. Kelly's lawyers are calling out prison officials who broke medical protocol. They've got doctor reports from Duke University Hospital saying Kelly should not have been moved, but the prison moved him anyway, against orders. That's a violation, and it's not being ignored. Kelly's defense team is stacking the evidence, and one by one, the lies are falling apart. He's showing the world that he's not crazy. He's not paranoid. He's been targeted. And the more he reveals, the more Roc Nation's empire starts to look like a crumbling tower held up by fear and silence. He's not backing down. He's rising. And now, the truth is coming with him. Blake Lively thought she could play the puppet master. She thought teaming up with powerful friends like Jay-Z and hiding behind Roc Nation's walls would keep her safe. But now, her name is tied to the darkest scandal Hollywood's seen in years, and there's no escaping it. She and Ryan Reynolds cozied up to Jay-Z for the spotlight. They posed for cameras, shook hands with execs like Desiree Perez, and smiled like nothing was wrong. But the truth doesn't care how pretty you look on a red carpet. It catches up. And it just did. R.Kelly has survived every trap they set. The poisoning, the cover-ups, the blacklists, all of it. And now, he's exposing the people who thought they could destroy him behind closed doors. Jay-Z's empire is cracking, Roc Nation is being dragged into court, and the people standing closest to him, like Blake and Ryan, are getting burned in the fallout. This was never about just one man. It was about a system built to silence anyone who spoke out. But that system is falling apart. R. Kelly has the evidence. He has the voice, and he's using both to blow the lid off everything they tried to hide. Blake Lively tried to bury him in lies, but she's the one sinking now. Her endorsements are fading, Hollywood's shutting its doors, her polished image is falling apart, and people are finally starting to ask questions she can't answer. She thought she could destroy Baldoni, thought she could stand on the ashes of his career and smile for the cameras, but it backfired, because in trying to bury the truth, she dug her own grave. And now, she's the one no one wants to work with. She's the one no one believes. Blake Lively didn't just lose control, she lost everything.